Okay, now this third scene where you have a model led, a lot of people might say, leading a model, Chris, come on, basic, who cares? Okay, we're back to showcase, pedestal, present, platform. Now, yes, it's a short scene. It's almost too short to analyze. That's okay. We're going to change the scene. Same principle, same concept. Think of it this way. You have the character Legolas and the character of, what's her name? Talia from The Hobbit. So you have Legolas and Talia. Now they're alone in a sequence. Now where are they really? They're standing in a green box. Okay? That's very, very difficult. You're standing in a green box. Okay? So the first thing you have to think about is you're not really in a green box. You're in a forest. Okay? The director has done his best to sit there and say, look here, do this, do that, so on and so forth. Yeah, we know, get out of our face. We're actors. Now, so you have the character of Legolas and you have the character of Talia. And they're going to be in a forest. And they have to think about the fact that they're in a forest. Because they're actually not. Well, what are the things in a forest? There's wind. There's trees, leaves. River, maybe. Birds. Squirrels. Bunny rabbits. Snakes. You name it. I spent time in the Amazon. I can tell you a million things that are in a forest. But, you start keying in your mind to being in a forest. Now, once you've done that, you can take it a kick above and say, I'm an elf. Elves spend their entire lives in the forest. So because I spend an entire life in the forest, I can always think about the rabbits. Or I can not think about the rabbits. Doing the not think is kind of boring because it kind of flatlines you. It's better to do the more think than the less think. Because the less think flatlines you. And you're more stiff. Okay? Now, let us say this is going to be a quiet scene in the woods. Well, the first thing you have to understand is, what are you doing in the production? Now, people can sit there and tell me this, that, or the other thing. This is a screenplay, guys. It's going to be done 1,000,000 times over by 1,000 different actors, billions of actors, over the course of thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, and everybody's got their own take, so who cares? How many different ways could it be done anyway? Okay? So think about it from a big perspective. Okay? You have Talia and Legolas. Are they supposed to be equal in the scene? If the answer is yes, because by the script they are supposed to be equal characters, you can always say, I don't like that. I don't want to be equal. Okay? And people sit there and go, what do you mean? You're supposed to be, I'm a great actor. I have Oscars to infinity. She is an inexperienced actress. I want to showcase her. And what you do then is you learn how to play your part down to bring her part up. What this does is instantly puts her on a pedestal. Now, it's only very good actresses that actually know how to destroy the pedestal under their feet. In most cases, it takes being a cheerleader, it takes being a Broadway person, it takes being a very experienced actress. It takes people that really have been into the whole show present to understand how to destroy the pedestal underneath them. So once you start a pedestal, they just rise. So all you have to do is small things in order to key up. Okay? This is very important to understand. You don't have to do large things. You can do whatever the director said. You just need to do a little bit more than what the director said. Let's go back to our example here, Legolas and Talia. What if Talia is speaking loudly to cover the mics or whatever, and Legolas decides he's going to pitch his voice underneath hers? So now you have a loudspeaker and you have a quiet box. And this creates a pedestal. What you have in a platform setting is you have the simple area of the forest. The world itself is your platform. You can platform each other by Sorry. I'm surrounded by noise occasionally and it irritates me. But I'll just splice these together because I have no other choice and I don't want to try and repeat that. Now, with Talia, you're creating a platform because the world is your platform. Okay? Now, what are you going to do with this platform? Make it animated. Okay? You can turn to a specific person and create a platform in them. But you don't necessarily want to do that in an area of two people in the woods. Okay? So the supporting actor then fades into the background. By fading into the background, you platform. And the world is your platform, and you are the platform. By doing that, how do you go back into the backdrop? Well, how you do it, even if you're in the foreground, even if you're moving to the foreground, how you do it is by making your actions less hard so that the viewer is drawn to the model. You always want to draw the viewer to the model, no matter what. Okay? So in that, you can do things like shift, glance, look. Anything that would direct the viewpoint, because you're playing with the viewpoint of the camera, even if you have no idea where the camera is, and most of us don't. Okay? You're playing with the viewpoint of the camera, and what you're doing is drawing the attention to the model. And you always point, hey, look, that's a model. You don't want to see me, you want to see the model. Look at the model. Okay? The more you go to the you don't want to see me, you want to see the model, the more you fade into the background. The more you fade into the background or fade into the foreground, the more you bring the model forward and showcase. That's called present showcase. So what you have is a scene with two actors in a green box who in their minds are in a forest. Now, then you start things like, hey, look, a bunny rabbit. Okay? You can do that any time in your entire life as an actor. No matter what the director wants or says, unless he can maybe say, cut, do it over because I don't want this or whatever. But you know, you can do that any time in your entire life as an actor. You can just suddenly go, look, a bunny rabbit. Okay? And look right back at the actress or go to whatever you're going to do next. Okay? It's easy. Anybody can do it anywhere, anytime. It may seem kind of silly if your setting is space, but you can still go, hey, look, a bunny rabbit. Okay? And this is what a lot of actors forget. is that they're not playing enough with their mind. They're not enjoying the world enough. Most cases because they can't see the world. They're in a green box. Okay, so what we're doing is destroying the green and creating the world. Now, when you go back to our model showcase present, okay, you're leading. Okay, you're going down a path, she's following. So how do you fix this problem? You go into the foreground. Look, a model. Okay. The camera turns, she's suddenly the star. Now, how does she help the pedestal and the present and the model? She does this by doing small things in a large way. Like, for example, seem like you care more about the person that you're talking to, like what happened in Young Lady Chatterley, where she was trying to flirt and trying to get to a point where maybe she could do something with him. And she was doing this with glances, with eyes, etc., so forth. A model flirts on showcase, on pedestal. This is common. That's one way of doing it. You can bring into the characters of Talia and Legolas where Talia is concerned. She's concerned about the dwarf. Okay? So she wants to run quickly, but if you get out of that in your head, because that's just the script, okay? You present that, all you're presenting is the script. So you want to go beyond that, and you want to make sure that you understand, yeah, I'm concerned about him, but I'm not going to catch him tomorrow, but I'm not going to catch him in the next minute. He's a mile ahead of me. So it's going to be something I'm going to catch him tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, I'm concerned, but I'm not overly concerned. Then you look at it from a perspective of Legolas wants to marry Talia. Talia really does, but doesn't want to go against the king. So you show conflicting emotion. You have a love triangle here that you can play with. You can sit there and show the emotion between the two characters in a light that is more caring. Okay, you could almost even bring together in a kiss without touching, because all you need to do is bring one actor's face in closer and one actor's face in closer and then back away, and then come in closer and then back away, come in closer and back away. If you do that within the scene, you also create more intimacy between the two characters. So you're really in a green box, but you're not really in a green box.